Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. I just moved my office in conjunction with the new year and the new moon and the first partial solar eclipse of the year. So I really gave myself a fresh, clean start, but it's so clean that the backdrop is kind of boring today. So I apologize for that in advance. I have a lot to talk to you about. I want to start first this week in exploring a big shift in the outer planets. Pluto has moved on Sunday into the gate 61. The gate 61 in the human design system, in the blueprint for the human journey, is one of the gates that's associated with the pineal gland. So your third eye, your intuitive insights. So we're entering in this big, long cycle of waking up our intuition, tapping into our intuitive awareness, and using the power of dreaming as a key element of our creative process. The 61 reaches up to know the unknowable. It's a place where we seek God and cosmic awareness, and it's also a place where we ask the question why, which is a tricky mental tape loop you might find yourself getting stuck in if you're not careful when this planetary energy is playing with us. The question why is, to a certain degree, an unanswerable question, particularly when you think about the context of your human journey is small, not irrelevant, not unimportant, but small in the context of the continuity of the time-space continuum. You're occupying a little tiny story, and that's really a blip on the timeline. And oftentimes we don't know our place in the bigger picture, either in the short run or the long run of our lives, and we are forced, through our connection to Source, to surrender to playing that unique role that we play and not getting ourselves locked into trying to figure out why, which means, in essence, you have a responsibility, or if you want to get through this without driving yourself nuts, you'll serve yourself well to cultivate for yourself a deep connection with Spirit as Source, or Source God, or whatever you want to call it. Because when you can have that faithful connection to Source, or when you can trust in Source, and that's not something you just are born with, it's oftentimes something you have to cultivate over time. But when you trust Source, you trust your right place in the cosmic plan, and you don't get twisted up sometimes in trying to figure out why. Here's why. I want you to not try to figure out why, and to instead go, okay, it's unfolding the way it needs to. Even if I don't understand it right now, I can trust that it's unfolding the way that it needs to. Because if you start to ask why, that 61 energy, which is this place that ultimately has the potential to awaken your imagination to unlimited possibilities, and for you to use that awakening as part of your creative juice, the force that you go out into the world and manifest with. But if you're not using it that way, if you're getting stuck in the why, that same energy is pressurized. And it puts pressure on your mind to try to figure out why. And generally speaking, when we put pressure on the mind to try to figure out why, what we really end up doing is rationalizing. And whenever we start to rationalize, we start to allow for ourselves in our lives less than what we're really worthy of. We try to explain things away. We try to avoid, with our rationalization, doing what we need to do. And we oftentimes settle for less than what we're worthy of. So don't ask why. Instead, ask, what else is possible here? Can you reveal to me my place in this divine plan? Can you show me how to have faith while I'm waiting for the full unfolding of the story that I'm occupying? Can you help me see the big picture, the bigger blessing in what I'm experiencing right now? Where is the blessing, even though I can't find it? These are the right ways to use this energy, and to, instead of asking why, use this energy to engage your imagination, the power of dreaming that you have, that's an innate part of your creative capacity, to think about what are the possibilities that what you're experiencing right now is just a tiny step towards something bigger than you yourself could be creating on your own. That's my invitation to you, and that's certainly an energy we're going to be exploring in a bigger way. And I think that's an important thing to pay attention to, because as we go through the transition that we're really slated to have over the next couple of years, as a result of the planetary transits and this huge evolutionary shift we're going through, things are going to fall apart before they come back together. And that falling apart can feel cataclysmic if you don't recognize that those little places where things are falling apart are actually perfect parts of the bigger picture. And you've got to step back and allow for that bigger picture to unfold and not get hung up in the minutia of the minute by minute, blow by blow, trying to figure out why is this happening. Okay. That being said, the sun moves from the 54 into the 61 all week. The 54 is the energy of enlightenment. The 61 is that same energy that I was just talking about, reaching to know the unknowable, giving us a really powerful, practical way for us to implement divine inspiration into our lives. So certainly a week for you to be mindful of a consistent meditative practice or prayer practice, whatever it is for you that keeps you connected to Source, and trusting that when you stay connected to Source, the next step in the divine inspiration that is yours to fulfill, and probably only yours to fulfill, that next step will reveal itself, and you'll get a practical way to begin to implement what the next step is for you. So stay connected this week. Dream big this week. Pay attention to your inspirations this week. Don't act on them, okay? Nurture them. Take care of them. I was in a bookstore this weekend and I was so excited because I saw this journal, and I always keep telling my clients, do this. Take your ideas this week, your inspirations this week, and write them down in a $1 million idea book. The journal said $1 million idea on it, right? Get a $1 million idea book, put your ideas in there, and then love those ideas, nurture those ideas, put energy around those ideas, sprinkle, whatever you need to sprinkle fairy dust on those ideas, but don't do anything with them. Let the universe handle that piece, okay? You just simply stay present, aware, awake, aligned, connected, and trust that the next right step will reveal itself to you when the timing is right. And you can't push against timing when you're human. As much as you want to, you can't. You can, but you'll burn yourself out, so don't do it. All right. Communication and relationships this week are a little dodgy. We are exploring with Venus the theme of what's worth fighting for. So we are continuing this process of really looking at our values. What are the things that are really important? What are our heart's priorities? We are looking at power and how does our personal power play in the evolution of our relationships. Are we being empowered in our partnerships, in our friendships, or are we abdicating our power? Do we feel powerless, or are we using our power to be codependent and take care of other people in ways that perhaps they could be taking care of themselves? Do be mindful this week of people's opinions. There will be a lot of them, and it is the energy of opinions is in Mars, which can sometimes be an edgy energy, sometimes an energy of fighting. Don't take anything anybody says too seriously. Don't go to the mat over an opinion. Only go to the mat over nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself and taking care of your dreams. Those are the things you want to fight for. Don't fight with someone because their opinions are stupid. That's temporary and it'll pass. The thing about opinions is this. Here's what I want to share with you about opinions. Opinions happen above the neck. Anything that happens above the neck is just possibility. If you have someone in your life who has an opinion, don't say anything. Let the opinion run its course, because it will. And ultimately, life will show somebody whether their opinion is true or not. It gets validated and verified by their outer reality. It's not your job to set them straight, and don't spend your energy doing that. Instead, take your energy and meditate, and take your energy and write down your dreams and ideas, and take your energy and daydream. Go look out the window and fantasize about what else could be possible for your life, and do the work this week of finding the blessings in all of the situations you're facing, even if they suck. There's a kernel of a blessing in there. Sometimes you have to go on a detective hunt to find it, but find it, because when you can love the situation you're in, then you can change the situation you're in. When you can find the blessings of the situation you're in, then you can transform it into something better. So don't get stuck there, and don't get stuck in asking why. All right, that's it. Have a great week. I will talk to you next week when we continue moving in momentous ways towards the creation of the life that we are seeking. And that is seeking you. It's seeking you.